How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tax evaders and whatever the fuck else? Jake here, and I'm actually doing a podcast. This is not something that I saw myself doing, but it seems like a fun idea to do a little, kind of just go through the week, talk about some of the things that I talked about, and go a little bit further into some of them. I have a couple of things that I want to talk about in this episode. And I think I'm going to start off with John McAfee, because I just did that video about him, which actually just came out today as of the day that I'm recording this. And that guy he lived a fucking crazy life. And I'm not even entirely convinced that the fucking guy is dead. I'm not going to lie to you. I remain unconvinced. And I'll kind of get into that. a little bit. Now, what's interesting about this guy is that he starts off as kind of like a normal fucking dude who starts a tech company. The tech company makes him a lot of money. You know, he's millionaire overnight kind of deal. I don't think it was overnight. I think he built the company up over time. But, you know, everybody fucking hates McAfee. McAfee's been shit for like 20 years. But McAfee himself has been out of the company for a while. So don't blame McAfee for it. Even he has spoken out against the McAfee antivirus since then. It's just that he made a ton of money, and he just did what people do when they make a ton of money. From what I've seen, is like there's kind of three paths that you can go down when you go from being a non-wealthy person to being a wealthy person. I feel like one of those paths is you just keep growing your wealth and you keep trying to improve society in however you see it. Like think of Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, you know. I don't think they have nefarious intentions, really. I think that they just have ideas of how they want the world to be and they're trying to grow it. So that's one of the paths that you can go down. The other path that you can go down is just kind of living your life in obscurity somewhat. I mean, there's got to be tons of billionaires out there whose names I haven't even heard of, you know, because they just fly under the radar. Like, how often do people talk about Steve Wozniak? Not that often outside of, like, finance circles on, like, Bloomberg.tv, or whatever the fucking website, Bloomberg.com, I think. I don't know where. It's because I've been saying Twitch.tv. God damn it. Twitch is following me around now. But so that's the second route that you can go when you become extremely wealthy. Just fly under the radar, maybe buy yourself a yacht every now and then, do some retarded shit with your money, you know. But then the third path that you can go down when you get very wealthy is to go batshit fucking insane. And that was the path that I think John McAfee went down. The guy has just been a lunatic for a fucking long time. And that's not news to anyone unless you have no idea who John McAfee is and you're basically just learning about him. This fucking guy, you know, he had around $100 million, right, from McAfee. I think that's how much he sold McAfee for, or how much he had when he left. I'm not exactly certain on that. But during the recession in 2007, 2008, he actually went from $100 million being his net worth, excuse me, to $4 million. So that's a 96% difference. I mean, listen, having $4 million is still a lot of money, but when you go from having $100 million to $4 million, that's huge. That's like a regular person going from having $100,000 in their bank account to just having $4,000. You have a house that you have to pay a mortgage on, or apartment that you need to pay rent on, and it just kind of scales up depending on how much money you have. The guy probably had multiple homes and all this shit, so you can't maintain that after you lose that amount of money. The lifestyle that you've built up, it's just gone. You know, there's no coming back from that unless you manage to make the money back. But either way, he loses all of this money, and I'm not sure if he was batshit insane before this, but this might have been the thing that fucking broke him. I don't know, because he ends up moving to Belize, and I've read kind of conflicting reports on this. I'm not sure, but it's possible that he was fleeing from the U.S. authorities. I'm not 100% certain on that, but he goes down into Belize, and I touched on this in the video where I talked about John McAfee, and he sets up a lab there where he's doing research on actual real-life viruses. He's like, I'm tired of these fucking internet viruses. It's bullshit. Let's do real viruses. So he sets up a lab and he gets, starts doing research on human viruses. I don't know, like, what possessed him to do that. It's an interesting career move, going from the virus guy to the virus guy. It's a big jump, but he has this lab there, right? And the Belize authorities, again, I talked about this, the Belize authorities kick down his fucking door, they break in, they shoot his dog, and they just do a full-on raid of this fucking guy, right? And, basically, they say afterwards that he was making meth in his lab. They say that he was dealing fucking meth, man. Like he was setting up a whole ass lab so that people can, come and buy fucking meth from John McAfee, the crazy fucking American, the gringo, down in Belize. But, so that's what the government of Belize claims. But again, I brought this up in the video. John McAfee goes, no. That's not what I was doing. I wasn't making meth. They came in and they raided me because they have a super corrupt political system, and I was bringing attention to the corruption. And, they came by and they asked me for a donation to a political campaign, which he refused. And so he was saying that that's why they did it. But so I guess he gets arrested, but then released. I think, I kind of, honestly, I want to just believe everything this guy is saying. Like, I know he has lied, and I'll kind of get into that later. I brought that up in the video as well. He has lied. He's capable of lying. I'm not saying that he's some fucking saint, but I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy that, like, to think that this guy would lie about something like that. But I don't know. He might just be a fucking lunatic. I really don't know. But so, at some point, he ends up fleeing from Belize to Guatemala, and I didn't go into this one in the video. I believe the reason that he fled Belize was because he got accused of murdering his neighbor. Just sit on that for a sec. He got accused of murdering his fucking neighbor. And apparently what he said afterwards was that he thought that they were after him, but they got him mixed up with his neighbor, which is how his neighbor ended up getting fucking shot and killed. And so he flees the country because he assumes that the Belize officials are trying to fucking kill him now, or the US, I don't know, whoever the fuck. Whether you believe the story or not, it's up to you. It's fucking fascinating. It's fascinating. So he ends up in Guatemala. I don't know what happens to him when he's in Guatemala. He does some shit. I think he gets arrested again. And then he has 2 heart attacks while he's in jail, I'm pretty sure, in a Guatemalan prison. Suffers 2 heart attacks. So they ship him back to the US, right? They ship him to Miami. And you know what he says afterwards? He says that the heart attacks were a ruse because he knew that they would send him back to the US if he had some sort of underlying medical condition. Again, I don't fucking know what to believe here. I don't know how somebody can possibly, like, bring about a fucking heart attack onto themselves twice. I don't know if he was just eating a lot of fucking McDonald's, just doing, like, the shit, what's that, Super Size Me diet, from the fucking Supers. I don't know what he was doing, but apparently I don't know if you can even fake heart attack. I don't even know if it's possible. It's an interesting fucking story, though. So he gets sent back to the US, and I think this is around 2013 by this point. And he's just chilling in the US doing his thing, you know what I mean? He's just hanging out. And he starts getting into crypto. Cryptocurrencies, and he starts hyping them up on his Twitter, where he'll get, like, paid by smaller cryptocurrencies to like promote their crypto, and he makes a fucking payday. People lose money. Scumbag behavior. I don't support that at all. Although if you're dumb enough to have bought into this fucking shit and you listen to John McAfee, who lost $96 million in 2007, you kind of deserve what happens to you if you take your investing advice from John McAfee. It's kind of, you deserve it. I mean, it's just kind of the universe fixing itself a little bit. You know, it's like you probably had more money than you deserve to have. There was an imbalance, like an imbalance in the fucking force. So they stuck John McAfee in your Twitter thread just to fix that little fucking imbalance there. But anyway, so he's doing that shit. He's scamming people. I think he gets on the SEC's radar, and they're after him for that. And also, again, I brought this up in the video, the entire time that he's in the United States, after he gets back, he's not paying any taxes. None whatsoever. He's not paying a single cent in taxes. So he owes millions of dollars in taxes. And so I guess he flees the country because, you know, clearly the fucking government is after him. They don't take kindly to people not paying their taxes. That's just, you know, that's why the saying exists. There's only two constants in life, death and taxes. Although I would like to remove both of those from the equation personally and just subscribe to Yourself He Got Leaked on YouTube. Make that like the one solid thing that has to happen in life. That would be cool by me, but anyway. So he flees the country, and however the fuck, I don't know, however the fuck, he ends up in a Spanish prison, gets arrested, right? And he's in there for a while, just awaiting for trial, you know what I mean? And so a Spanish court, just last week, approved his extradition to the United States on tax evasion charges. That just means that they're going to send him back to the United States, kick him out of Spain, so that he can get tried in the U.S. for, you know, federal crimes, whatever it may be. And on Wednesday, about a week after this, they find him dead in his fucking cell, supposedly having killed himself. And I brought up in the video, again, not to like sound like a fucking... What is it? I'm beating the fuck out of a dead horse. I'm jacking that dead horse off into a cup and doing shots of it. He's fucking... I don't think he would kill himself. I don't think. He even had a tattoo on his arm that said whacked, so that people could know if he ever dies or they make it seem like he committed suicide to any degree. If it seems like, if a report ever comes out that he killed himself, he got whacked. He didn't kill himself. Somebody killed himself, if you know what I mean. Somebody came in and did a little Epstein moment there, slipped him some cyanide, choked him out, whatever the fuck it may be. I don't even know the method that he used to kill himself. I'm not sure. It's probably going to turn out he shot himself twice in the back of the head. They're like, oh my god, the camera's all turned off. We're not even sure how he got the gun or how he managed to shoot himself twice in the back of the fucking head. We don't know. We don't know how he did that, but he did. You'll believe us because we're the government. Fuck you. Seriously, what the fuck? What happened with Epstein, man? What the fuck happened with Epstein? Everybody stop talking about Epstein. Epstein didn't kill himself, and you know what? God damn it, John McAfee didn't fucking kill himself. We just put that on shirts. Now everybody has to know that this son of a bitch didn't fucking kill himself. Now, I brought up earlier into this little segment here that it's possible that it was not actually John McAfee who died in that prison cell. And you say, I hear you saying, well, like, how is it not him? You know, how could that possibly be? This motherfucker was so paranoid and so fucking crazy for so long. This guy had multiple body doubles of himself in an attempt to, like, throw off the government or whatever bodies may be coming after him. This guy had multiple fucking body doubles, which he claims that they even had plastic surgery, some of them, to make them look more like him. And they live with him, apparently. And you're like, okay, that's bullshit. He's making that up. That's just something that he's saying because he thinks it sounds fucking cool, but it's not true. It's true. It's true. There are news reports. Apparently, John McAfee was arrested in Mexico. And they're like, oh my god, John McAfee arrested in Mexico. And then they find out that's not John McAfee. That's one of his body doubles that got arrested in Mexico. Genuinely one of his fucking body doubles. Because the guy tweets, you know, the next day. He's like, hey, that wasn't me. Wasn't me. That was one of my body doubles. I'm not in jail. I still have my phone. I'm here in fucking Guatemala, Peru, where the fuck I am. Banging Thai ladyboys, because that's apparently a thing that he likes. He's tweeted about that. But Also, another thing to add on to it, this Mexican, detention that happened of one of his body doubles, the dude had a, it sounds fucking crazy to say, the guy had a North Korean passport on him. What? Huh? Why did he have a North Korean passport on him? Are we gonna pretend like that's normal? Why did one of John McAfee's body doubles, who was arrested in Mexico, have a fucking North Korean passport on him? How does that happen? How does that happen? Excuse me, I'm gonna drink some Diet Pepsi. We'll make this into ASMR. Fucking hate Diet Pepsi. Diet Coke gang for life. Anyway, how does this happen? Also, that's not the only time that we've heard about his body doubles in the news. Another time, one of them got fucking poisoned with, like, cyanide. I'm not sure if he died or if they were able to save him, but one of his fucking body doubles got poisoned. So, unless he's doing this as, like, some sort of crazy publicity stunt to make it seem like he's getting into these wacky misadventures to, like, build up his own ego or, like, his own mystique around him, people are genuinely after him. People are genuine. If you just remove that from the equation, the possibility that he's making all this up, the fact that one of his body doubles got fucking poisoned with cyanide would mean that he has people that are fucking after him. Now, why does he have people after him, you might ask? Well, because he claims to have, like, blackmail, kind of, information about big U.S. politicians, big figures within the U.S. I don't know. I'm assuming, like, fucking, I don't know, Steven Spielberg was, like, giving Bill Clinton a fucking BJ in the Oval Office, just jacking him off, screaming some shit about E.T. while he's doing it. Probably dressed up like fucking Indiana Jones. I don't know. But some weird shit like that. Some weird shit that they probably get up to. I could see Steven Spielberg sucking off Bill Clinton. I could see that fucking happening. Tight little Indiana Jones costume. I could see that. I don't know why I can see that. I don't know why I'm picturing it so vividly. Okay. But so he's got information, supposedly, on big U.S. officials, so that's maybe why they wanted him whacked. Who knows, man? It's just a wild fucking story from beginning to end, and I really can't reiterate enough based on, like, what, I mentioned it in the video, but please, for the love of God, excuse me, go to this guy's Twitter account and just scroll down. He has the wackiest fucking things to say, and just the craziest shit. I seriously saw him tweeting about Thai ladyboys, because people were asking for his opinion on Thai ladyboys. And he basically, his response was, he doesn't have much experience with Thai ladyboys, other than accidentally bringing them home with him. Which he may make sure to say that it's an accident, because he's not into men, he's into black women. I think that's his thing. He's just got, like, a huge fetish for fucking black women. I don't know, man, it's weird. But, oh my god, he's just a fucking character, and I think I brought this up in the video, but there is no biopic that I want to see more than a biopic about fucking John McAfee. I want to see an internet historian video on the life of John McAfee. You know what I mean? Just one of them glorious fucking Sundance rejects. Oh my god, that would be fucking... I don't care. I don't need to see another fucking Winston Churchill biopic. I don't give a shit about Eleanor fucking Roosevelt. Stop making biopics on those people and make an entertaining one. I just want to see John McAfee getting into some wacky fucking hijinks and fucking hanging out in strip clubs and doing fucking pole dancing and shit like that. That's all I want to see. I wonder who they would have play John McAfee. Oh, I'd love to hear your opinion. Oh my god, who do you guys think? Just, like, look up a picture of John McAfee and tell me who would be the best person to play. I want to see Michael Cera. Michael Cera is John McAfee. That would be fantastic. I would love to see that. I would fucking kill to see a biopic like that. He's an interesting guy. I don't even know if there's been any fucking books written about him, but there needs to be. There needs to be. I gotta do more research about this guy. The life this man had. And by the way, another thing. If you look at his Twitter, he brings up every now and then, he'll post pictures from wherever the fuck he is. He's in Spain, he's in France, he's in Thailand, he's in fucking Niger, I don't know. He's always posting pictures with a bunch of, like, young women. And people will be asking, like, who are these, like, 20-year-old chicks that you're hanging out with? And he's like, oh yeah, these are my executive assistants. And he's got, like, 5 of them. They're just, like, super young women, like 18 to 25, I'm assuming, somewhere in that range. So he's banging them, obviously. You know, fucking clearly he's banging them. So this guy is just traveling the world, evading the U.S. authorities, not paying any fucking taxes, possibly producing methamphetamine, and he's got a harem of, like, 5 fucking women, plus a wife, which is just the fucking wackiest shit. I'm telling you, this guy got into some shenanigans. But I've talked about him for over 20 minutes now, so... And I want to make this, I'm going to try and aim to make this kind of like an hour-long sort of deal. This is my first time doing this, so I'm not really sure how this is going to go. I don't even know how the reaction to this is going to be, what the response is going to be like. So I'll be curious to see if people actually enjoy this. I think it's nice because it gives me a chance to go more in-depth with the things. And when I'm recording a video, I get a little bit not nervous. Okay, so it's like a little bit of nervousness that I'm going to fuck something up, and then I have to redo it over and over and over, and so it makes me, like, forget information that I meant to bring up a lot of times. There's so many videos that I've made where I've forgotten to fucking mention stuff that I was like, I have to mention this ahead of time, but it's happened just tons and tons of times to me. So it's nice to be able to do this in kind of like this long form conversation, bring up some of the things I talked about and go more in depth with them, because there is so much to fucking talk about. And it's nice because this won't require crazy amount of editing or any shit like that. I'm basically just gonna, stick some shit onto the beginning and end, and that'll be about it. But anyway, let's talk about something else that happened this week. You guys probably, I'm sure some of you will know what I'm talking about. I'm sure most people watching my channel know who H3H3 Productions is, Ethan Klein and Hila, his wife. Well, Steven Crowder, the YouTube conservative talk show man, invited Ethan Klein of H3H3 to come and have a debate with him. Now, here's the thing. Steven challenged Ethan to a debate because Ethan was saying some shit like, oh, we have to blindly trust the CDC. I don't completely agree with that. I think you should think about it and then consider the fact that they probably know what they're talking about and take that into account. Just take that into account. I'm not saying you should definitely never blindly follow anyone. That's so fucking stupid. It's the dumbest thing. If you want to learn more about not blindly following leadership, read the Dune Chronicles and see how that fucking works out for them. Anyway, I disagree with Ethan on that point, but I also disagree with Crowder because, he goes way further with it. But so he challenges Ethan to a debate about that topic. Now, he even says on his fucking podcast, he thinks Ethan is going to be a fucking easy dunk. So, Ethan has never debated anyone, ever. He's not a debater. He's never done that. Now, I am a master debater. I master debate constantly. Debate constantly. But Ethan does not do that very often. And he also doesn't know a lot about the topic. He's just spouting off, you know what I mean? He's just talking shit on his fucking podcast. Just let the guy rest. He's kind of a fucking moron. Everybody's been aware of this for a while. Ethan is a moron. He doesn't know a lot of things. He is funny, but he's not the brightest fucking canary in the coal mine. That's definitely not a saying. But, He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, man. Everybody knows this. So Crowder, who is a really good debater, tries to bring Ethan on so that he can do this. But Ethan is like, no, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know what's going on here. I was just talking shit on my podcast. So instead of coming onto the podcast and debating Crowder, he brings on this guy, Sam Cedar, who apparently, I guess Crowder has been afraid to debate, supposedly, allegedly. I don't fucking know, man. But, he brings him on and kind of just surprises Crowder with it. Now, I think that this whole thing is so fucking stupid. I saw people on Twitter posting the picture. It's the YouTube video, two retards fighting. It was definitely two retards fighting. Crowder is fucking retarded, and Ethan is a fucking retard as well. He's not, they're both idiots. And then this Sam Seder guy is a fucking moron as well. It was supposed to be a debate between Ethan and Crowder. Crowder offered the debate in what's the word I'm looking for here? Fuck. He was not, it was not in good faith. He was not doing it in good faith. He was doing it because he knew that he'd easily be able to dunk on Ethan. Now, Ethan, responding to this, brings on Sam Seder. And I'm like, okay, so here's the problem with this, is that you were supposed, you're supposed to be just you and Crowder. Ethan Klein and Crowder. That was it. You weren't supposed to bring a fucking third person on. Now, Crowder shouldn't have offered the debate in the first place. Ethan shouldn't have accepted the debate in the first place. Ethan also shouldn't have brought a third person in to debate for him. It's like fucking me showing up in a boxing ring to fight, like, I don't know, a boxer. Name a boxer. Logan Paul. And then sticking fucking Mike Tyson into the ring and being like, oh yeah, I know I accepted your challenge, but here, I'm having this guy fight for me instead. I'm not a great fighter, so, you know, even though I accepted your challenge, I brought this guy to just do it for me. So what's the point of even saying yes if you're not going to do it? They're trying to get like this easy dunk. They're all looking for easy dunks. That's what they're saying. Crowder was looking for an easy dunk with Ethan. Ethan was looking for a easy way to make Crowder look like a big baby, which he succeeded. Crowder looked like a huge fucking baby. But they were both in the wrong. Ethan shouldn't have accepted the debate if he wasn't actually gonna fucking debate. Crowder shouldn't have even offered a debate with Ethan because Ethan openly admits that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just spouting off on his fucking podcast, man. It's not that fucking deep. It's not that deep. And what do you think? What do you think that Ethan's audience is going to come over and watch your fucking debate video and go, oh my god, this Steven Crowder guy's got some good points? No! Ethan's audience is fucking Reddit. They're fucking liberals. They already hate you, and they disagree with everything that you're saying. All that you do when you have these public debates like this is make your side look worse. Fucking stupid. It's seriously, and it's not even that you're making your side look worse. It's that the point of a debate is really not to change the mind of the person that you're debating. It's to change the mind of the audience who haven't made up their minds yet. It's like Bill Nye when he debated some fucking young earth creationist years and years ago. I remember I was super into like atheism. I was big on Reddit at the time. I was like fucking 15, 16. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Bill Nye is gonna dunk on this creationist idiot. Yeah, so that fucking debate happened. And obviously the creationist isn't gonna be like, oh my god, like a fucking demon crawls out of his throat, fucking like whatever, toads start spilling out of his fucking nostrils, like, and then he suddenly wakes up, opens his third eye on the fucking top of his forehead and goes, oh my god, how didn't I see this before? There is no god. Science is correct. And obviously this guy is not going to change Bill Nye's perspective, because Bill Nye knows for a fact that the Earth wasn't created 4,000 years ago. Obviously. But you might affect the audience's minds, you know? You might affect their opinions. That's the point of a debate. So when you when you ask for a debate like this, most of the audience has already made up their minds about Crowder and Ethan. Right? Like, they're not going in open-minded. They're going in already feeling a certain way about both of these guys. That's why the presidential debates are fucking stupid, too. Because there's a lot of opinions that have already been made. You know, like, let's say the Democrats, right? You know, the Democratic debates, people are genuinely trying to figure out which one of these candidates that they want to support. But after you get past that hump and you've got Biden versus Trump, everybody's made up their mind. The people that were going to vote for Trump are going to vote for Trump, and the people that were going to vote Democrat are like, okay, time to vote for Biden. He's our Democrat choice. That's what's going to happen. You know, it's kind of like that. I don't really know what my point is with that. I kind of lost myself there a little bit. I've been going at this almost 30 minutes now, though. That's fucking pretty good, man. All right, let me chug a little more soda. All right. So, next thing that I want to talk about, I've got just a list of a couple of things that happened over the week that I can kind of rant about a little bit. Wendy's changed to Morty's for a couple of days to promote the new season of Richard and Mortimer on Adult Swim. Fucking stupid. I'm so goddamn tired of these fucking brands, man. Remember when Wendy's started popping off on Twitter back in, oh god, how long ago was that? Like 2016, 2015? Oh god, it was fucking forever ago. They were going insane, right? They were popping off. Everybody was like, holy shit, I haven't eaten at Wendy's since I was 5, but I'm gonna go and drive over there and eat at Wendy's now, because you guys are so in touch with the youth. That old gem, you know. And it was a good marketing strategy. It worked out for them well back then. But it does not work now. You know what they tweeted after they switched their, they changed their profile picture from like the normal Wendy's logo to Morty from Richard and Morty, but he looks like the Wendy's girl. And they changed their name from Wendy's to Morty's, right? So that's just, that's embarrassing. But what they tweeted was, the first thing that they tweeted after having transformed themselves, this is not like a good transformation. This is like turning into a fucking werewolf, but not like I just sprout some fur and I turn into a werewolf. I'm talking about like the kind of painful fucking ones, you know, like turning into the fucking Hulk. You know, everything starts to burn and itch and there's fur sprouting and it's unnatural. It's kind of like that. It's like just an evil transformation, like something that looks incredibly painful, not something that you'd enjoy. But the thing, have I even said it yet? Christ, I keep getting off track. Well, the first thing that they tweet is wubba lubba grub grub. Because as we all know, in the famous show, Richard and Mortimer, Ricky's little catchphrase is wubba lubba dub dub. It's so funny. So funny. I do like Rick and Morty. I like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty's a great show. No hate to Rick and Morty. Just the wubba lubba dub dub thing is so fucking played out. It hasn't been funny since the episode aired that night, and then it stopped being funny immediately. But Reddit doesn't know how to stop! Reddit doesn't know how to stop! They just latch onto something. Christ, I had trouble saying that. They latch onto something, and it's like the funniest fucking thing that they've ever heard for all time after that. Do people still even say that on Reddit? I bet you Reddit doesn't even think that's funny anymore. Wubba, lubba, grub, grub. It's dumb. It's just lame. It's not even... I mean, I get they're trying to be innovative. They're trying to connect with the youth. Ooh, had a little bit come back up with that one. Yikes. You don't like to see that. That's not something you love to see. But anyway, you know, they're trying to connect with the youth. And that's fine. That's their whole thing. Do what McDonald's does. You guys remember Happy Meals? You guys remember eating Happy Meals when you were a kid? I fucking loved those things. I would get the chicken nuggies and the fries and whatever the fuck it came with. I don't know, a milkshake or a soda or whatever. And it came with the goddamn toy. And back then, they didn't just brand... Like, all the toys weren't always just a brand deal. Every now and then, they gave out, like, the McDonald's-themed Beanie Baby or whatever the fuck it is. You know, they weren't fucking always a brand. Like, every time I go to McDonald's now, like the one right by my house, it's Luca. They're advertising Luca because they want the little kids to log on to their parents' Disney Plus account and watch Luca on Disney Plus. That's what they want. They want everybody to go and sign up for it so that they can make money off of it. And that's fine. That's fine. That's marketing. That's how it fucking goes. But I'm just saying, in the past with the fucking Happy Meals, man, they weren't always a brand that just paid like, hey, you know, here's a bunch of money, make toys for our product to advertise it to kids. It wasn't always that. Every now and then they made some like cool products that were actually fun to collect. I feel bad for the kids now. They get a fucking shitty, like, plastic Luca toy that just, like, I don't even know what the plot of... Do they just throw up water on each other and then they turn into sea monsters? What is the plot? I don't know, man. Is that what happens? I don't know. But, At least the Happy Meals used to be. But anyway, the point that I've kind of lost my way with is that McDonald's has it down, man. Just make your own Happy Meals. Release toys for kids. Parents are so fucking tired of McDonald's, man. They're like, holy Christ. I had to pick my kids up for band practice, and they're asking for fucking milkshakes from McDonald's. God, I'm so fucking tired of McDonald's. I don't want one of their hamburgers. Wendy's. Oh, yeah, Wendy's has their own fucking retard meal. They got the retard meal that you can go and get. I don't think that they would call it that. I think that might not be PC enough. Whatever the fuck. A Wendy's meal. A fucking little kid meal. And just make that. And that's how you connect with the youths. I know, but I know what they're trying to do, though. They're trying to bring, like, the teenagers and the 20-somethings like me. Guess what? I'm not going to fucking Wendy's. I'm not going to Wendy's, goddammit. I'm going to Mickey D's, because that is my jam. That's what I love. I've always been a McDonald's fan, and you can't trick me into eating at your shitty fucking restaurant with your little fucking twink on the goddamn logo. Your restaurant is probably the favorite restaurant of the lowly enthusiasts. Just imagine that they're fucking Wendy, man. That's the only reason people eat at your restaurant, because it's fucking perverts who want to fuck Wendy. Well, I think Wendy's pretty fat now. You guys remember? That reminds me. They had the actual OG Wendy in the commercials, right? The Wendy that Wendy's was named after. They were using her as like a spokesperson for a time, but they stopped using her because she was kind of overweight and it was sending the wrong message. They're like, oh, big fat fucks eat at Wendy's. Yeah, my parents started Wendy's and they named it after me and they fed me Wendy's all the time. That's why I'm a big fat fuck in my 40s or 50s, whatever it may be. Look at me. Oh, my titties jiggle. Oh, fucking people don't want that. People don't want to be big fat fucks from Wendy's. People aren't interested in that. I think I went really off the rails with this. Holy shit. This is interesting. This is an interesting experience. I wonder how many people are still listening at this point. At least 2. I'm gonna take it that there's at least 2 people listening up until this point. If you're one of those 2, God fucking bless you, you beautiful son of a bitch. Next topic. Amaranth got unbanned earlier this week. Did I call it? Excuse me. Let me ask you a question. Did I call it? Yeah, I called it. Because Twitch staff is way too fucking horny to actually keep her banned. I wish that they would get rid of the word ban and just replace it with suspension. Because it's not a ban. Ban implies permanence. When you ban somebody, they're gone forever. Amaranth, everybody fucking knew. Immediately. Everybody knew. They're like, okay, Amaranth is banned. Oh, boy howdy, guess she'll be back in 2 days going fucking strong. And guess where she was back in 2 days? Going fucking strong on twitch.com. Or twitch.tv, sorry. And they also unbanned the other girl as well, who is also doing the ASMR ear-licking shit. I don't even remember what her fucking name is. She's not as relevant as a mole rat. But she was unbanned as well. And it just goes to show, man, Twitch is just full of horny fucking guys. They've kind of lost their audience, I feel like. They've lost their audience in a lot of ways. I mean, think about this. Who is watching Amaranth? Horny men that are looking for someone to jack off to. I'm just surprised that they can last long enough to keep up a constant viewers watching her fucking stream. Because God knows, you know, you go and you watch a porno, you watch for like 5 minutes, and you're done, and you turn it off, you're like, get this the fuck out of my face. I never want to see something that disgusting or despicable ever again. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You jack off to it, and you're just done with it forever. It's gone. It's done. But, these guys, I don't know, man, they must just have some crazy fucking stamina. I would figure that these are the kind of dude. Well, okay, so maybe they're not dudes that last 5 minutes because all they do is jack off. And if all you do is jack off all day, you're naturally going to build up a tolerance and you're going to last longer, right? So I think I might be getting to the bottom of this. This is why Amaranth is so popular, because people don't want to watch like, whatever it is, Chatterbait, my free cams, are those the websites? I'm not even like feigning ignorance. I was never into the cam girl shit. I genuinely don't know. Those websites, the girls like take out their titties and shit like that, and so it's probably harder to last longer. But maybe they're going for endurance rather than a quick little shot of coom. You know what I mean? Maybe they're sick of getting those quick little shots of coom. They just want to sit there and just ride their fucking schlong with their hand, just beat their fucking schmeat for 3 hours straight. You know, maybe that's what they're into. Maybe that's why Amaranth is so fucking popular, man. Because they come too quickly to like chatterbait, and they don't want to watch the fucking pornos. They're disillusioned with porno. You know, they just want to watch a woman in a bikini sit in a hot tub and write their name on her arms, which is kind of just fucking crazy to me. The whole concept that these dudes are so fucking lonely that they will drop what, like $100 to get a woman on the internet to write their fucking name on her arm. Like, whew, that's sad. I mean, that's sad that that's the direction that society's fucking going, man. Honestly, I don't hate Amaranth. I think that she's just cashing in on a natural thing that is happening right now, a natural direction that the world's kind of going, where dudes are having so much trouble getting into relationships, man. I feel bad because I feel like if that's the case, there's less men out there, right? Less men that are actually out there getting laid. You're like 25, you're a dude and you're not getting laid. Well, what about the woman out there who's 25 and is in like the same ballpark as you? You know, she's like, you're like a solid 1.5 out of 10. You're pretty fucking fat. You're 300 pounds. Your fucking facial hair looks like pubes, but you know, your penis is at least 3.5 inches rather than the solid 3 that would drop you down to a rank 1. But you got that extra 0.5 inches, which keeps you going. You know what I mean? So that woman who might get you, if you're willing, you know, you guys might end up together. She's also what did I say? 2? A 2 out of 10? You know, they don't end up together. So there's more, I guess it makes more women incels as well as male incels, right? Or is it that there's just dudes out there that are picking up the fucking slack? You know what I mean? Like, there's the dudes that are like 10 out of 10. They're banging the 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and 7 out of 10 women, you know? They're banging all of them. They're getting fucking laid, right? But then there's like the 6 out of 10 dudes, and they're banging the 6 out of 10 women, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. And then, you know, I guess there's like a 3 out of 10 dude who's like the only thing keeping him from being a 2 out of 10 is that he doesn't jack off to female streamers. Like that's the one redeeming quality about him. And he's just getting the rest of the pussy. I don't know. I mean, that could be it. But I don't know, man. It's just fucking embarrassing that this is the direction that our society is going. You look at other places around the world, they're still having fuckloads of babies, man. Look at India. The amount of fucking people in India. But that's not gonna last because these people are getting internet and phones and shit. I mean, look at T-Series. Over 100 million fucking subscribers, and that's like basically all fucking Indians. You know what I mean? That's all Indians. They've all got internet now. You know what that means? They got porn. All the dudes are going to get addicted to porn, and their fucking birth rates are going to fall naturally. Is this like the filter? Is this what happens, that the lower members of society, all the dudes just start jacking off to porn, and that's just how it is for the rest of fucking time? I mean, people think that we've kind of stopped human evolution in certain ways, and I think that's true, you know? If you're like a kid and you've got some autoimmune disorder, we can keep you alive way better than we could 500 years ago. You know, you have some fucked up autoimmune disorder in like the 1500s, boy, you're fucking dead by 9. You're gonzo, you're done. But now, people are surviving past that, making it to the goddamn breeding age and having kids and passing on those weak, disgusting genetics. You know what I mean? Just because we can keep them alive, right? That we can keep them alive. But what happens when we see a kind of idiocracy thing where the very, what is the word I'm looking for here? The dudes that the women want are the only ones having sex. Like, 4 out of 10 and up are the only guys that are having sex. And in the past, 1 to 10, everybody was getting laid. You know what I mean? Like, everybody was getting laid and having kids. You had to be an absolute fucking freak of nature to be so disgusting that a woman would, at least one woman out there wouldn't want to have sex with you. But now, those dudes are having so much trouble finding those, their fucking soulmate. They're just switching to jacking off to porn online. So this means that they're probably not going to have kids, right? They're not going to have kids because they're not having sex. They're not meeting women. So is this going to cause human evolution to go in a direction where ugly people die out to a certain extent? Or is it going to cause the isolationist loners to die out? Is it going to cause that personality trait to go by the fucking wayside kind of deal? You know what I mean? Like, are loners going to die out? Are we going to see... I mean, obviously, it would take a long time, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, unless there's some sort of rapid evolution scenario. Are these people will eventually die out, and everybody's going to be an extrovert to an extent. Extroverted enough so that they're able to actually get laid and pass on their genetics kind of deal. I can kind of see that being the direction that things go, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get to the point where we don't even have kids. We just grow new people. We just take a random sampling of 2 people's genetics, we stick them together, and then we just make a new person from that. They're not even married. We just grow new people. And we stick by, like, the traditional family sense, and people they don't have kids. It puts too much stress on the mom. It's bad for her body. She's not gonna live for very long because the stress. No. So they end up just growing a fucking embryo in a fucking pod, and they give it to her. And the dude that she gets assigned to. We're going full 1984 Orwellian shit on this. Just an extremely Orwellian future. I don't know, man. Maybe that's direction things are going. Wow. I'm just looking at the topic that started me on this. I was talking about Amaranth getting unbanned, and that led to this whole fucking rant. That's wild. That's fucking wild. I got another thing. I got one more thing to bring up, and I got 13 more minutes to kill, something like that. Recently, I watched one of Internet Historian's videos. It's kind of an older one, I think from around 2016 or so, 2017. And it was talking about this Balloon Boy hoax. And I don't actually remember this, but I believe it happened in 2009. I probably was aware of it when it happened. I would have been 11 at the time. So I'm pretty sure I would have been aware of it when it happened, but it's something that I'd completely forgotten about and had totally left my conscious. But there was this whole quote-unquote hoax that happened back in 2009. When this family was kind of doing an experiment in their backyard. The dude's kind of like a backyard scientist, you know what I mean? The father. So they build like this kind of balloon-looking thing, and they're trying to do an experiment with it. And it ends up getting released and floating away because one of his children forgot to put the tether down, right? He's doing it with his family, but they forgot to put the tether down. So it flies away. And then they start freaking out because for some reason, they think that one of their 3 sons has crawled up inside of this big-ass balloon and is now floating away with it. So it leads to this whole thing called the Balloon Boy hoax, where they call the police and blah, 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 and everyone, and it costs all this money, and at the end of it, what do they find? The balloon had no child inside of it. They believe that this was set up as like a publicity stunt for the family, just trying to do something funny for the lulz, whatever. It cost the taxpayers $2 million fucking dollars to do this. So everybody starts calling this shit a hoax because of something that the son says. They end up finding him. He was hiding in the attic. They ask him, they're like, why were you hiding in the attic? And the son, he's like fucking 8, 9 years old, 7, I don't know, a fucking child, a fucking baby. He goes, why were you hiding in the attic? You know, didn't you hear us yelling for you? And he says some shit like, well, they told me that it was for the show. Or you told me it was for the show, something like that. So everybody takes that and they fucking run wild with that. Hoax! The boy admits that his parents told him to hide in the attic. Huge! It was all a hoax from the get-go! Crucify them! Crucify these fucking people! And there's basically a fucking public execution. These people are strung up and fucking thrown to the rats, you know what I mean? They have to pay a huge fine, and they have to do jail time and community service, I'm pretty sure, all this shit. But here's the thing. You gotta watch Internet Historian's video about this, because he makes a compelling fucking argument that they were telling the truth. And if you look at all of the evidence that gets presented, not only by Internet Historian himself, but by the father that this, of the family that this happened to, in a follow-up video, he presents all of this information in it, and you look at it and you're like, holy shit, these people were hung to fucking dry. There was a corrupt political system there, man, and they took advantage of these people for their own political gains. It's fucking wild. You think like, oh my god, the government, they're not gonna do that shit to you. The government is the government. They can't get away with that. They do fucked up shit all the time, man. It's fucking wild. And so if you look at this story, it was one of the most transparent cases that I've seen, where these people were taken advantage of systematically. They got so taken advantage of by the system, man. They genuinely thought that the boy had crawled up into the balloon and flown away with it, because they had seen him multiple times earlier throughout the day crawl up inside of it and was playing inside the balloon. And they kept yelling at him like, get out, dude, get it. Falcon, I think was his name or some shit. Falcon, get out of that. And they're yelling at him. There's video footage because they were recording it at the time that they were doing the experiment. And, the kid was genuinely going inside of it and playing with it, and they would always yell, get out. So when it flies away, the little kids start yelling, Mom, Falcon, Mom, Dad, Falcon was in there. Falcon was in there. And at first they're like, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was here a second ago. And then they realize that he's not there, and they're like, oh shit. Well, they start calling out his name, and they're looking around for him. And you see that shit, and you're like, oh my god. It's like they're either really good actors, or they're telling the fucking truth here, man. These people were taken advantage of. It's crazy. I really can't do this story justice. You guys would have to check out. I cannot recommend this enough. Look up Balloon Boy Internet Historian and watch the video. It's fucking fascinating. The family did nothing wrong. They were taken advantage of. This was not a hoax. This was a genuine fear. People were saying like, oh, well, if you look at the evidence, there's no way that this balloon would have been able to carry a boy of that weight, blah, blah, blah. But apparently they do some, I think Internet Historian or the other guy, whatever, did some research afterwards, and they're like, yeah, that balloon absolutely could have picked up a boy of his weight and flown away with him. It's entirely fucking possible that it could have done that. But that's not the point. The point is, why is that even an argument? People are saying, like, this balloon couldn't have even taken a boy of that size. Like, oh, great. Yeah, guess what you're dealing with here. You're not dealing with a rational person who goes, oh, well, there's no way that Falcon is inside of that balloon because the balloon's not strong enough to carry him. He weighs too much for it. You're not dealing with a rational person. You're dealing with an irrational person. It's a parent who thinks that their child is in danger. Rational thinking goes out the fucking window when you're a parent and you think your child is in danger. I'm not a parent myself, but I know that that's the case from watching people freak the fuck out over insignificant things because their child's involved with it. You know what I mean? So it's not like they go, oh my god, let's just do the calculus real quick. Can this balloon lift up my son? Let's see. They're not sitting down and doing that. They're calling the fucking police. Right? Isn't that what you would do if you think your son is now 20,000 feet in the fucking air? Fucking unbelievable. I really can't do the story justice. You guys gotta listen to the Internet Historian, his video about it. It's fucking killer. It's so good. Internet Historian's a great channel, all in all. You guys gotta listen to it. But anyway, that's kind of my last topic for this podcast. I'll try and write down some more stuff, and I want to try and get one out next Saturday if I can. Fuck you. Fuck you, voice. I think my throat's starting to die from yelling to myself for an hour straight. I'm impressed with myself. I managed to keep my vocal cords going for nearly a goddamn hour here. That's pretty good. This is definitely not your normal podcast. I feel like most podcasts are at least 2 people or, more usually, so that there's an open dialogue between multiple people. And I like that. It allows room for a good dynamic. But I don't really have somebody like that I would really feel like I have the best dynamic with. I'm not sure. So I just figured that I would do my own thing. I mean, that's what you people are fucking subscribed here for anyway. You're here to see me, right, baby? Woo! But, yeah, so I enjoyed this, though. And, let me know your guys' thoughts about this in the comments. I'm going to try and get this up onto other platforms if I can. I got to do the research about it, though. Like how I would get it up on, say, Spotify or iTunes or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm not sure how that'll work. But anyway, I appreciate you guys coming out and listening to this podcast, man. It's been fun, and I'll see you guys next